那当然，如果再出现雷电的警告呢，我们就需要这样暂停这次的群众大会。好 ，So residents of East Coast GRC, thank you for joining us at the Workers' Party rally. It is the next edition of our #NotWhite rally. And thank you very much for braving the rain and the mud and joining us tonight. We are not going to let the little lightning stop us, right? So without further ado, let us begin with our very first speaker. 那事不宜迟，我们即将欢迎我们的第一位演讲者。那就是我们多才多艺的但宾尼集选区候选人陈清德。Let's welcome Jimmy Tan Kim Tae.
Jimmy. 全国同胞，大家晚上好。2020年度席卷全球的冠状病毒疫情，使得新加坡第一通货膨胀自2008年后，2022年再度飙升至6.12个百分比。第二，2021年的失业率达到4.64个百分比。第三，2020年每1000个就业者就有12.8个被裁退。行动党政府在就业与经济不明朗的前提下，决定在2023年、2024年上调消费税。工人党秘书长Pritam Singh先生在国会表示，目前通货膨胀加剧，物价高涨，供应链受阻，都对生活费造成冲击。上调消费税可能会导致物价全面上涨。建议行动党政府考虑修改投资回报贡献框架，正如2008年当时的40个百分比增加到50个百分比，把目前的50个百分比增加到60个百分比，作为政府收入的一部分，资助政府开支，延缓调高消费税。行动党政府拒绝采纳。随着消费税提高，人们经常在家访和社区活动反馈，他们因为日常需求必须密切关注生活费，社里会邻里购物券、水电费和杂费补助等等，只能暂时缓解燃眉之急。居高不下的生活费仍然是人们必须面对的问题。主物价格、交通费、大学学费、医疗费、水电费、食物和日常用品价格等等，都是我们必须正面面对的民生课题。转售主屋价格在预购主屋达到最低居住年限后的转售价格迅速攀高的冲击下，是否将导致未来周边的预购主屋价格也随即上扬，也是一般民众担心的趋势。透过 data.gov.sg 的数据，2011年至2024年，总体转售主屋与主屋总数的比例是3个百分比以下。大多数的人民都不以转售主屋为投机的渠道， 我们应当着重探讨如何鼓励国人避免下一代由于过了最低居住年限的预购组屋价格节节攀升，导致无法承担新预购组屋的价格。OK， 行动党政府也承诺，在2025年将大学群体参与率提高至60个百分比，未来的参与率有望不断的提升。父母亲是否有能力承担子女们的大学学费与费用？若是他们承担不起的话，多少中低阶层收入的家庭的孩子们需要放弃继续升学的机会，进入职场，这是否会导致他们延迟成家，以及生儿育女，组建家庭呢？政府是否能够伸出援手，帮助中低收入家庭的国人，以确保我们的年轻一代有能力不为经济因素放弃升学的机会？2030年，新加坡人口预计会达到1/4会是65岁以上。2017年的一个健康报告显示，同比2009年、2017年的慢性疾病患者从19.8个百分比增加了到37个百分比。随着人口的老化，许多国人盼望多年努力工作累积的保健户口还能够为他们提供更好的应付医疗费用吗？他们是否会成为子女们额外的经济负担呢？工人党的竞选纲领中主张取消60岁以上国人的公积金保健储蓄户口使用上限，好让我们年长公民能够独立负担慢性疾病治疗费用。亲爱的选民们，亲爱的同胞们，我确信没有人，甚至没有任何政党会拥有绝对的智慧和知识，你们相信吗？我相信我们需要建立一个健全而平衡的政治制度，你们相信吗？我相信我们需要一个对国家人民忠诚、拥有理性、负责任和有尊严的在野性势力，深入探讨并提成以人民为中心和重心的政策，以便补助政府回应人们的顾虑，不负他们的委托。你们相信吗？既然你们相信，5月3号投票日，投工人党一票，让我们为国效劳。谢谢。
Thank you, Jimmy. Do you believe in the Workers' Party? Do you believe in the Hougang spirit? So, our next speaker is none other than our candidate for Hougang SMC, Mr. Dennis Tan Lit Fong. 让我们欢迎后港三选区的陈立峰。
Dear voters of East Coast GRC and fellow Singaporeans, a very good evening. I am Dennis Tan Lit Fong, the Workers' Party candidate for Hougang. 位亲爱的东海岸及选区选民，大家好！各位凤山区的居民，你们好吗？我在大牌85巴萨、大牌122、123、128咖啡店所认识的许许多多的居民们、朋友们，你们好吗？我很高兴今晚能回来这里跟大家团聚一下。我要再次感谢凤山区的居民10年前给我的支持。凤山居民、东海岸选民，让我恳请大家在5月3号把你那神圣的一票投给工人党。让我们的工人党候选人送进国会，替你出声。请跟我们工人党一起携手同行，建立一个比较有平衡的国会，可以吗？Dear voters of East Coast GRC, dear residents of Fengshan, it is great to be back here again. In the run-up to GE 2015, for a period of 2 years, Gerald Giam and I and many Workers' Party volunteers spent many evenings and weekends in various parts of East Coast GRC, knocking every door in the HDB estate, from Bedok to Sine to Changi Village. But now no more Changi, Bo liao. Bye-bye. Akan datang next time. And we visited every private estate house in the whole of East Coast GRC, willing to open the door for us. Since then, our East Coast team and volunteers have been doing regular weekly house visits, coffee shop visits, and market visits. Workers' Party representatives and our volunteers are no strangers to East Coast GRC, right? Till today, whenever I drop by 85 Market for breakfast or for my favorite bak chor mee after a long day in Hougang, many of you still say hi to me, and you have extended the same welcome to my fellow Workers' Party colleagues. Thank you. Fellow Singaporeans, 10 years ago, a few months before GE 2015, the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee came out and Fengshan was carved out of East Coast. The party asked me to contest in Fengshan SMC. In GE 2020, the EBRC decided that Fengshan must go back to East Coast GRC again. I would like to ask our dear Fengshan residents here today, did the government give you any explanation? No! This year, the EBRC has made another change to the boundary of East Coast GRC. East Coast residents, the PAP is very afraid of you. Your vote is very powerful. So make your vote count. Vote for the Workers' Party. For whatever reasons, the Changi area has now been carved out and replaced by Joo Chiat and Chai Chi, which were previously in Marine Parade GRC. Someone said to me, I am a Joo Chiat resident, and many of my fellow Joo Chiat residents are not impressed. Fellow Joo Chiat residents are not impressed by the boundary change. And one Joo Chiat resident said to me, I live opposite Marine Terrace Market. Why am I in East Coast GRC now? Jit is no stranger to boundary changes. In GE 2011, Jit was a SMC. The Workers' Party lost narrowly after a recount by 388 votes. In 2015, Jit was absorbed into Marine Parade GRC. And you are right, our friend there. The Workers' Party candidate for Jit in 2011 is none other than Mr. Jit Jong. Our Workers' Party candidate for East Coast GRC for 2025. Mr. has followed Jit to East Coast GRC. In 2025, Marine Parade GRC lost Jit and Chai Chi and had McPherson SMC and part of Mountbatten SMC drawn into Marine Parade GRC again. Why do you think they have redrawn Marine Parade GRC's boundary? It is time to put a stop to such boundary changes. The Workers' Party is proposing that the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee should not report to the Prime Minister's office. Institutionalizing independence in these bodies in this way will promote greater public confidence and will prevent unfair advantage for the ruling party. And by doing so, we can hopefully stop talking about gerrymandering once and for all. Fellow Singaporeans, to avoid the sad lessons from the past where constituencies disappear or substantial districts were absorbed after a poor result from the ruling party, please make sure you vote in the candidates from the Workers' Party. The PAP have been asking for a strong mandate. Do not give them a strong mandate. As one of my Hougang residents said to me yesterday, vote for the Workers' Party to keep the PAP on their toes so that they can listen to you more and work harder for all of us.
And make them scared.
That's right. And remember, a strong mandate will be a blank check for PAP. Dear voters of East Coast GRC, Tampines GRC, Tampines Changka SMC, Bongo GRC, and Jalan Kayu SMC, the Workers' Party have been running the Aljunied Hougang Town Council and the Sengkang Town Council. Our town councils have good financials and all green ratings, the top bending in all areas, such as cleanliness, estate maintenance, leave maintenance, SNCC arrears management, and corporate governance. Not all PAP town councils have done so. If elected, the Workers' Party is confident that with our experience in our town council management, there will be a smooth transfer at East Coast Town Council, Tampines Town Council, and Bongo Town Council. And I assure, and the Workers' Party assure you, our Workers' Party MPs will be working very hard to make sure your town council and estate will be well run. Dear East Coast residents, please give our East Coast GRC candidates, Jit Jong, Nathaniel Cole, Jasper Kwan, Sufyan Mikuel, and Paris V, your full support in this general election. Vote for the Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Thank you, Dennis. I didn't know we have earthquakes in Singapore because Jit is now in East Coast. Now we have our very own candidate for East Coast GRC, Jasper Kwan, Kwan Han Wei.
Hi everyone. A very good evening to the residents of East Coast GRC and my fellow Singaporeans. Thank you for the incredible support you have shown us over the past few days. We feel the love. Your presence, your encouragement, they have been truly heartening. Many residents of East Coast GRC have come out to me and say, "Hey, Jit Kwan, your voice okay or not after the last speech? Blood pressure got go up or not?" But thankfully, many of them have shared very valuable feedback to me on how to improve. And I am truly grateful because they were advised from the hearts of residents from East Coast GRC. Thank you. At the PAP rally a few days ago, Mr. Heng Swee Keat said, opposition parties are just talk, 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 and no action. Do you think that is true? We are listen, listen, and listen and improve. This is the Workers' Party ethos. This is who we are. And because I listened to your feedback, I hope to improve on my speech today. It has been 20 years and 4 elections since the Workers' Party first contested in the East Coast GRC. That is a long time. And we continue to walk the ground every week without fail. Every single week for the past 20 years. This is our volunteers. They are the massive volunteers who have done this for 20 years. This race to serve you, fellow Singaporeans, to work hand in hand with you, have been motivating us to improve. Yes, we are in the race to the top, not to the bottom, as claimed by Mr. Chan Chun Sin. He told Mothership that political competition is a race to the bottom. I disagree. I cannot speak for Mr. Chan's negativity, but I believe constructive competition drives progress. Competition challenges the political parties to improve, get better, and who benefits from it? You, the residents. You are the one who will benefit from it. Without competition, political parties become complacent, lazy, and arrogant.
You just described PAP.
In the end, they fail to meet the needs of the people they serve. Repeatedly sticking to the ruling party is not stability. That is becoming stagnant. Nothing moves, nothing changes. A very worrying thought when the world is changing around us. Is this the Singapore you want? As many of you wrote online. When you compare the Workers' Party manifesto to the PAP manifesto, you find the PAP's short on substance and full of motherhood statements. The Workers' Party manifesto provides constructive policies because we want to improve the lives of Singaporeans. We are looking ahead, not back. We ask what we can do as a party to do better as a society, not just stuck in a past that has slipped away. On that note, if they run out of ideas on how to improve the lives of the fellow Singaporeans, we encourage the PAP team to read our manifesto. We also push the ruling party to improve their policies, and this is extremely important. For governance to stay responsive and dynamic, the PAP government cannot get a blank check. Our presence in Parliament pushes the government to adopt new policies and address issues that they may have overlooked. Workers' Party MPs have championed the push for policy changes in Parliament to shorten BTO wait times, to protect scam victims, to give parents more time with their children, to make our tudung-wearing sisters feel included in the workplace. We shine the light on areas that a single party viewpoint might miss. We help the political system evolve. We create the competition, the race to keep improving, to give our people the best. The Workers' Party is not a threat. We are the catalyst for better governance. We are here to drive one another to ensure a brighter future. In this changing world, no one government has the playbook to navigate through the crisis. Therefore, collective suggestion and ideas is needed to move the country forward. Your voice needs to be heard in Parliament. And do you think the PAP will be your voice? No! The Workers' Party will be your voice! I have always been a problem solver. Having worked with governments across Asia Pacific on transit, I've solved problems big and small. And what do I see now? There are still so many problem areas we need to solve for in Singapore. The lease of your HDB flat is still declining after so many years. And there is no solution in sight. And the clock is still ticking. Our children are so stressed up in the current education system. And PSLE is a nightmare, plaguing Singaporeans since 1960. Can you believe that the PSLE have been around for 65 years? For 65 years, this horror called PSLE has consumed the lives of children and parents. Let us improve this and give our children back their childhood. This list doesn't end. The issues and many others affect you and me. They are our issues. People of East Coast GRC grant us that spot in the parliament so that together we can find better solutions for Singapore. Let us improve the lives of all Singaporeans. We are now at a crossroad, a pivotal moment in Singapore's history where decisions we make will shape the Singapore of tomorrow. The PAP says not to give the opposition a free pass. In rebuttal, I say, tell the PAP to stop gaslighting Singaporeans. My teammates and I from East Coast GRC are ordinary people who want to do extraordinary things for the people of East Coast GRC. The time to act is now. Together with a reasonable, respectable, and rational Workers' Party, we can shape a Singapore that's fairer, stronger, balanced. A Singapore where every voice matters, where every citizen is heard. Don't worry, I'm wrapping up, okay? My family and 3 young children love coming to the East Coast. Every time we come over to East Coast, do you know what color my 3 children wish the sky to be? Blue. Yes, blue. Because when the rain stops, with the blue skies at East Coast, our children can finally have a brighter future. Vote Workers' Party, working for Singapore. Majulah Singapura. Jit Kwan signing off. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasper. Can the PAP be your voice? Can the WP be your voice? Next up, we have our candidate for Tampines Changkat SMC. 来自当槟尼上谕的候选人 Kenneth Fu 傅策官。
亲爱的东海岸集选区的选民，我回来了！谢谢大家。回到东海岸集选区，就好像回到娘家一样，感觉非常舒适。我是策管工人党当槟尼上虞区的候选人，感谢大家出席今晚的群众大会。那么今晚我想跟大家讲的是一个非常特别的新加坡的职位，这个职位就是我们社区发展理事会的市长 ，the mayor。首先，我来问大家几个问题：新加坡有几个市长？5个。太多。你们知道你们的市长是谁吗？有些人不知道，没关系。那你们又知道他们一年的薪水有多少吗？太多了。太多了 ，OK。66万 ，660,000。如果我们有5个市长，他们一年就领330万的薪水，还没有完。而且如果他们当议员，还能拿议员的津贴。 那你知道他们到底做什么吗？分发 CDC voucher。其实这个职位是1997年才开始的，以前本来是要帮助面对失业和低收入的国人，不过在2013年的时候变了样，现在他们讲他们是推动志愿服务，鼓励社区自主互助和自助。2016年，陈振声说，市长由总理委任，负责协助 CDC 的工作。好，我们就来做个比较，我们看看伦敦的市长，伦敦市长所管理的预算是20.7亿新币，管地铁、消防、管警察服务等等等等。伦敦的人口是890万，他一年的薪水23万9千新币，比我们的市长低了2/3。相比之下，我们的市长不过服务差不多100多万的人口，而且职责也不明确。那我问问大家，本地的市长的职务是大还是小？薪水是高还是低？那我们建议政府把这个市长的制度废除掉，好不好？多余的。2016年，陈振声也说，市长的工作和政务官员差不多。中区市长潘丽萍的 Nispa 也在2天前说，社理会与市长能更好的整合资源。我大概讲整合资源是什么意思？这里说的是一种能够集结各界的力量，从而让一个项目实现的更简单、高效的策略。请问你们有没有看到什么高效的策略？有没有啊？不过在我看来，推动志愿服务，鼓励社区自主、互助和自助，不需要市长，对吗？你我也可以做嘛，不是吗？那你知不知道市长其实不是全职的？八单嘛，八单嘛，人处假巴掌，不是我讲的。我们看看2021年，潘丽萍曾在国会说过，他是唯一一个全职的市长。那如果市长那么重要，为什么其他人的是兼职的呢，而不是全职的呢？我在但宾里走动的时候，遇到一位77岁的长者。这位女士跟我讲，她想做八单，找不到工作，因为人家歧视她的年龄。我们介绍这位女士去做市长好不好？何乐不为，对吗？可以帮助到新加坡人，对不对？知道了这些后，我问大家，新加坡的市长值不值66万？你们说新加坡的政府该不该废除这个市长的这个制度？这也是我们工人党在我们的党纲中所提出的建议。说，亲爱的选民，从1968年的大选到2020年，人民行动党在国会里占据了超过90%的议席。不过，承蒙后港、阿育尼、盛港的选民们才有了一些进展。不过，这些还不够，没有真正的能够制衡，也没有强而有力的反对声音和有效的监督。行动党可以 轻易的和轻松的通过任何法案，也可以任意修改宪法。今晚我很喜欢讲故事，我也喜欢读故事书。我要引用《倚天屠龙记》，有没有读过《倚天屠龙记》？有没有看过《倚天屠龙记》？它里面的这句经典，得无来了。OK， 武林至尊，宝刀屠龙，号令天下，谁敢不从？倚天不出，谁与争锋？5月3日，就是你们这些英雄亮剑的时候了。你们的剑是什么？就是你们手中的那张选票。请大家投工人党一票，让我们为国为民效劳。谢谢。
Thank you, Kenneth. After all this time, I still don't know what the mayor does. So next up, we have another one of our very own East Coast GRC candidate, Sufyan Mikuel Putra.
Good evening. Good evening, residents of East Coast GRC. I'm sorry about the rain, but after all, we've endured the lightning for the last 60 years. My friends, I speak to you tonight humbled by the task before us and mindful of the challenges we face in this campaign. But let there be no doubt, me and my colleagues in Team East Coast are up to the task to serve you and to be your voice in Parliament. My friends, we now have our best chance to chart the course of our nation's history for the next 5 years and beyond. I've spoken to you about some of the greatest issues facing our people today, such as the cost of living pressures, and on issues of housing and affordability. Tonight, I wish to speak to you on what is at stake for East Coast and for our nation. Friends, a few days ago, the PAP held their East Coast rally in this very stadium. Well, I watched it in full, by the way. Well, however, on one particular moment in their rally, it has struck me. Miss Haslina, who I personally have the utmost respect for, she said this, I quote, "I'm sorry that life is tougher, but that is because Singapore is better." Well, this morning, I was with our team during our outreach efforts with residents at Block 58 Market, just across the road from here. We were privileged to be joined by two Hougang legends, Mr. Peng En Huat and Mr. Lau Tia Kiang. At the market, I spoke with many residents who were having their breakfast. A common theme became apparent. Many of them had brought their own coffee flask. I asked, why not just buy the coffee at the drink stall? Well, they said to me, the prices have gone up too much and too fast. And since they were retirees, increasing prices directly impacts them on a daily basis. My friends, perhaps there is one thing I can agree with Ms. Haslina. Our lives are indeed tougher. Dear East Coast residents, I ask you, do you want your MP to apologize to you because your lives are tougher? Or do you want your MP to work and find solutions to make your lives better? I make this commitment to you. Should we be fortunate to represent you in Parliament, we will work tirelessly for you on the ground, in your neighborhoods, in Parliament, and with one goal in mind, to make your lives better. My friends, please allow me to say a few words in Malay. Boleh? Terima kasih. Salam sejahtera semua pengundi-pengundi East Coast GRC. Hari mengundi hampir tiba. Kini, kita mempunyai peluang yang terbaik untuk merangka haluan sejarah negara kita untuk 5 tahun akan datang dan seterusnya. Mengapa penting untuk menghantar kami ke Parlimen untuk mewakili East Coast dan menjadi suara alternatif anda yang berkesan? Saya percaya demokrasi kita hanya akan bertahan selagi rakyat mahu mengekalkannya, di mana sistemnya lebih adil dan saksama kepada warganya tanpa mengira bangsa, agama dan kepercayaan politik. Oleh itu, kita mesti mengukuhkan pembangkang yang kuat di Parlimen bagi mencapai usaha ini. Parti PAP akan memenangi mandat yang kuat dalam pilihan raya ini, seperti yang telah dilakukannya selama 60 tahun yang lalu. Tetapi, tanya diri anda, adakah kita benar-benar memerlukan lebih daripada 90% kerusi Parlimen dipegang oleh pemerintah untuk mempunyai tadbir urus yang berkesan? Adakah benar kita mesti mempunyai begitu ramai ahli Parlimen pemerintah dan hampir tiada suara alternatif yang signifikan untuk mewakili masyarakat kita? So, apabila anda mengundi pada hari pengundian, sila pertimbangkan ini. Parti Pekerja telah bersama anda selama 20 tahun di East Coast dan kami telah mendengar aduan anda, kebimbangan anda dan aspirasi anda. Kami sepasukan berjanji untuk berkhidmat untuk anda dengan hati yang ikhlas dan jujur dan membawa semangat yang baru kepada East Coast. My friends, over the past 7 days, we have heard your voices on the ground. Some concerns were municipal, like rat infestations and estate maintenance issues. But never fear, we in the Workers' Party are equipped with years of town council experience, and we pledge to you that we intend to run an able and responsive management of your estate. Other concerns were national issues. Cost of living, housing, and more job opportunities are among these concerns. We pledge to raise these concerns and offer our solutions in Parliament for you in good faith. Some residents have also voiced their concerns about whether their CDC vouchers will be taken back if they vote for the Workers' Party. No. You are entitled to these privileges as a loyal citizen of Singapore. Others raise some doubts about whether the vote is secret. My friends, we are confident on the integrity of our elections, and yes, your vote is secret. Vote without fear or favor. I seek that you ask yourselves again, do we really need 90% of Parliament to be held by the government to have effective governance? The risk of diminishing our democratic system is real in every election, until the moment comes where we have finally entrenched a loyal opposition in our parliamentary democracy. My friends, let this be the moment. When you head home, touch your heart. Look at your children's faces. Ask yourselves, what kind of Singapore do you want to leave them? It is time for the Workers' Party to be in East Coast GRC. Five elections, 20 years in the making. In this moment, in this election, we are in a straight battle with the PAP. We nearly got there the last time, right? This may be our final chance to turn East Coast blue. So, once again, my name is Sufyan, and together with our East Coast team, we stand here ready to serve you and give you the best opportunity to finally make history together to make your lives better. Let us make our East Coast the crown jewel in our nation's political landscape and uplift the hopes of all its people. This is the real East Coast plan. So my friends, vote for the Workers' Party and we will pledge to you that we will continue working for East Coast and for Singapore. Thank you. Let's get to work. Terima kasih, Nandri. Sia-sia, Niman.
Thank you, Sufyan. Do you like the WP's East Coast plan? Parti Pekerja for East Coast, boleh? Okay, next up, we have our candidate all the way from Jalan Kayu SMC, Ms. Andre Loh.
Good evening. Hello. Good evening, friends from across Singapore and residents of Jalan Kayu. I stand before you as someone who has walked your corridors, visited your coffee shops, and listened to your hopes and concerns. In my first speech, I spoke about why I decided to step up. In my second, just yesterday, I addressed the crisis of affordability that affects so many Singaporean households. Tonight, as we approach the final days of our campaign, I want to speak about another crisis facing our nation, a crisis of accountability. But also about a better future we can build together with fresh ideas and new perspectives. My opponent has suggested that his NTUC experience and leadership is what Jalan Kayu needs. I respect Mr. Ng's service to the nation, but this election isn't just about experience, it's about what kind of experience we need in Parliament. That's right. He has 3 stars to his name from his military career. I only have 3 chevrons. Sorry, Third Sergeant here. But what I'd offer is something different. A breadth of private sector experience across law, consulting, technology, and now finance. Fresh perspective, new ideas. and most importantly, a commitment to be accountable to you, each and every one of you, Singaporeans and Jalan Kayu residents alike. Because in Singapore today, we need more than just experienced leaders. We need leaders who understand the value of transparency.
We need Pritam Singh! Prime Minister!
In recent months and years, Singapore has witnessed troubling examples of what happens when accountability is lacking. A PAP minister once famously remarked, and I paraphrase, that no one has asked her for an apology. So tonight, why don't we ask the PAP? When the Simply Go rollout left thousands of commuters stranded, where is our apology? When the East-West line broke down for days in September, disrupting the lives of countless Singaporeans. When the Accra Bisfile NRIC saga exposed our personal data. When MOE's vendor Mobile Guardian deleted our children's critical exam notes just days before the exams. Sometimes they do offer some apology, but they often feel like sorry that you feel sorry, rather than genuine accountability. Now, these aren't just isolated incidents. They reflect a system that has grown too comfortable, too certain of its own infallibility. When even respected figures like former NTUC Income CEO, Mr. Tan Swee Chair, feel compelled to speak up about governance concerns. We must acknowledge that something has to change. The Workers' Party believes in a Singapore where decisions are made transparently, where leaders take responsibility, and where the people's voice is heard. To my Jalan Kayu residents in the crowd, some of you may wonder, can the Workers' Party handle town management? Well, let me be clear. If elected, you will see no disruption in your services. The Workers' Party has proved over the decades in Hougang, Aljunied and Sengkang that it can run a town council well. I will tap into this experience so that I can hit the ground running from day one. Now, I understand your daily concerns, the need for functioning lifts, well-maintained walkways, and clean common spaces. These are not just amenities, it's essential to your quality of life. And I commit to you that I will keep the good work going. Now, beyond managing our estates, I want to help build a future for Singapore that works for all Singaporeans. A future where education nurtures creativity and critical thinking rather than just producing test takers. Singapore's children need an education system that prepares them for tomorrow's challenges, not yesterday's. We need broad-based, multidisciplinary learning that encourages innovation and exploration across all institutes of learning. A future where our young people develop an explorer's mindset, where they connect dots others can't see, and where they innovate where others see problems. This isn't about diluting specialization, it's about enriching it. It's about creating thinkers who work across disciplines to address the challenges we will face in an increasingly complex world. A future where Singaporeans are empowered with the digital skills and tools they need to thrive in an AI-driven economy. Where skills future isn't about catching up, but about leaping forward. A future where we value diverse pathways to success, whether it be through study, entrepreneurship, or the trades. recognizing that our nation needs all of these talents to flourish. In Parliament, I will be a voice that speaks for you, not just when it is convenient, but when it matters most. I'm not one to mince words when I see something that doesn't sit quite right with me. And why should I? Singaporeans deserve someone who will ask the tough questions. Someone who will speak up for them when others stay silent. When bills are rushed through without adequate scrutiny, I will ask the hard questions. When policies benefit the few while burdening the many, I will stand firm. And when government agencies make mistakes that affect your lives, futures, and livelihoods, I will demand accountability, not out of spite, but because you deserve nothing less. On the 3rd of May, you have a choice. You can vote for more of the same, or you can vote for a future where your concerns are heard, your children have the freedom to explore and create, and where your family's needs come first. Jalan Kayu deserves a representative who offers fresh perspectives while understanding your daily struggles. Someone who speaks up not to score political points, but to ensure your voice matters in our democracy. I am that representative. The Workers' Party is that alternative. My name is Andre Lau. I'm offering something different: accountability, transparency, and a genuine commitment to serve you and your families. And so today I urge you once again to vote for change, to vote for hope, to vote for the Workers' Party and join us in working for Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. I don't know about you, but I'm only a corporal. Next up, we have one of our own in East Coast GRC, Nathaniel Cole.
We love you, Pritam Singh!
Fellow Singaporeans, voters of East Coast GRC, neighbors, friends, family. Good evening. Whether you are watching online on your TV or laptop, whether you are in this rally, standing on the field in front, middle or behind, sitting on my left, sitting on my right, or on at the blocks behind. Thank you for joining us. When you look at the people around you in this rally, when you look at the people in your life, around your life every day, in the train, in the bus, in the hawker centers, coffee shops, in the office, and when everyone looks at you, you may seem okay. You may seem that you are doing fine, comfortable on the outside. But deep down, you have your own story to tell. You have your own struggles to overcome, seen or unseen, told or untold. No struggle is too small to be brushed aside. Your stories and your struggles are part of your life. And life is measured not by the number of times you get beaten down, but by how you get back up again. And getting back up is something you and many of our fellow Singaporeans have gone through or are going through right now. Speak to the fellow Singaporean who just lost his job and is struggling to find a new job to pay the bills and to feed his family. Speak to the fellow Singaporean couple who is struggling to find an affordable home to call their own so that they can feel financially and emotionally secure to start their own family. Speak to the fellow Singaporean who struggles to care for her elderly parents at home while being elderly herself and trying to hold on to a job. Speak to the fellow Singaporean who works hard, earns a decent income, but worries every day about whether he can afford a better future for his family and his children. You may recognize this fellow Singaporean because this fellow Singaporean may be you. When you lose your job, or if you lose your job, you don't want to lose your dignity. That's why we want retrenchment benefits to be written into law. Because families need time to get back on their feet. We can do it. When we talk about affordable housing, the national household median income may not make sense. BTO flats are for first-time buyers who are maybe starting out in their life journey, in their careers. So let's measure affordability based on their income. Let's keep it real, let's make it fair. We can do it. Caregivers, caring for your elderly parents, if you are a caregiver, you take on so much burden. You give everything. And we want to expand respite care so that caregivers can rest, can recharge, and care for themselves too. We can do it. And when prices rise and bills pile up, you deserve answers. That's why we want a standing committee in Parliament solely focused on the cost of living. Real accountability, real transparency. We can do it. And at the heart of all those policy proposals is you. Policy matters when it touches real lives. Politics is not about abstract ideas or headlines. Politics is about people. It's about you. It's about dignity, fairness, and a hope that tomorrow can just be a little bit better than today. And you are the reason why I have served the Workers' Party since 2009. And you are the reason why I'm here in East Coast GRC. For all my childhood and my adult life, I have lived in East Coast GRC. For those of you at the rally, if you look behind, I lived at Block 33, Bedok South, with my grandparents. For those of you at the rally, if you look in front, I live at Block 132, Bedok North, with my parents. And now I live in Fengshan with my family. I have relatives in Chai Chi, in Telok Kurau, in Jalan Tua Kong. I have friends in Simei, in Tanah Merah, and Siglap Hill. I studied at Temasek Primary and Bedok View Secondary. I have been to almost every part of East Coast GRC. So if you want an MP on the ground, I am already on the ground. What I ask is for your vote, so that my team and I can be your MPs to serve you, to help you, and to speak up for you. To serve, to help, to speak up. That is our promise to you. Talking about promises, East Coast voters, do you remember what you were promised 5 years ago?
East Coast retirement plan.
5 years ago, you were promised a future Prime Minister. Some of you might have voted for them because of that promise. But what happened?
Retirement! Happy retirement!
It became an empty promise. And what should you do when you are on the receiving end of an empty promise?
But no surprise! LL!
You choose another way forward. A way forward that has been serving Singaporeans for the past 68 years. A way forward that the people of Hougang, Aljunied and Sengkang chose with pride. A way forward with a track record that works for Singapore. A track record of proposing policies that work for you. A track record of serving your estate well. A track record of speaking up for you in Parliament. We show up, we work hard, we speak up, and we will keep doing it for you. The people of Hougang, Aljunied and Sengkang placed their trust in the Workers' Party. They voted for the Workers' Party into Parliament. And East Coast voters, you can too. So come 3rd of May, vote for a better way forward for our country. Vote for a brighter future for Singapore and Singaporeans. Vote for the Workers' Party working for Singapore.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Next up, we have another candidate from East Coast GRC, Paris V. Parameswari.
Hello. Good evening, residents of East Coast GRC and my fellow Singaporeans. My name is Paris V. Parameswari, and I'm one of the candidates for East Coast GRC. Okay. Firstly, I would like to talk about reinstating Thaipusam as a national public holiday. And would like to thank Mr. James Lim for bringing this topic up in Parliament. And this is also in our GE 2025 manifesto. So just some history, okay? So in 1968, the government at that time reduced the number of public holidays, and the Hindu community was asked to choose between Deepavali and Thaipusam. And at that time, the Hindus opted to retain Deepavali. Now, Hindus in Singapore are left with only one public holiday. Over the years, Thaipusam has become a spiritually significant affair for many Hindus in Singapore, as many of them fulfill their vows by carrying kavadis or milk pots and participate in processions as an act of gratitude and penance.
Equality!
So, it is time to reinstate Thaipusam as a national public holiday. And to increase the total number of public holidays in Singapore to 12. Okay, next, let me speak about the PAP East Coast GRC rally on 26 April. Okay, Mr. Dinesh, a member of the East Coast team, responded to a common sentiment that Singaporeans share. He said, and I quote, "There is talk of there being too many foreigners. Do we want our sons and daughters to be in construction sites and as laborers?" Unquote. My fellow Singaporeans, the issue is not about laborers or people working in construction. People trying their best and doing good, honest work deserve respect. That is something to remember as Labor Day nears. What is at stake is really about ensuring good work and business opportunities for Singaporeans, including PMET jobs, so we can work hard and provide for our families. So there have been foreign laborers in our country for many decades. But did we have an issue with that? The answer is obviously not. Singaporeans do not have an issue with our foreign laborer brothers. Okay. Let me now talk about the data privacy issues. There were major breaches not once but twice in the last 5 years. Firstly, Trace Together. The Trace Together data was used to investigate a serious crime in Pongol. The information that Trace Together contact tracing data will be used for criminal investigations was withheld from the public for months until a parliamentary question was filed in December 2020. This was despite promising citizens that Trace Together data only be used for pandemic control.
Integrity issue.
Secondly, let's look into the leak of NRIC data on ACRA's website. After an independent journalist, Bertha Hansen, raised the issue on 12 December 2024, this was how the Ministry of Digital Development and Information's media statement responded on 13 December 2024. And I quote, "The NRIC number is assumed to be known, just as our real names are known. There should therefore not be any sensitivity in having one's full NRIC number made public. In the same way that we routinely share and reveal our full names to others," unquote. The NRIC number, which for years has been treated as sensitive and secret information, and which even had to be masked under the Personal Data Protection Commission previously, suddenly became secret no more. What a sudden U-turn. Then finally, the NRIC saga ended with Ms. Josephine Teo and Ms. Indrani Raja, together with ACRA chief, apologizing for the confusion caused. These two incidents demonstrate that the PAP and ruling party have lost touch and have little regard to Singaporean sensitivity to their personal data being used for purposes other than originally intended. This also shows miscommunication between government departments. These missteps would not have been known if they were not brought up in Parliament and by the public. So next, let me touch on our heartland hawker centres and coffee shops. Their rentals have skyrocketed over the years. This is partly due to high rentals charged by privately owned coffee shops, for which the business owners have paid for in millions, and hawker centres which are outsourced to and managed by for-profit entities. The high rental costs as well as overhead costs are channeled to consumers' food prices. Although the public can now hunt for cheap coffee shop meals with a campaign called Great Budget Meal Hunt, launched by the previous administration in October last year. Why should this even be the case? It is called Heartland for a reason. Coffee shops and hawker centres in these areas should be affordable to residents there. It is sad to know that some stall holders have quit their Heartland coffee shop businesses due to high rents and costs. Examples would be Alim Chicken Rice in Bedok Town Centre and Mentaya Japanese Food, which has permanently closed all its 9 stalls across Singapore. As stated in our GE 2025 manifesto, HDB should reacquire all privately owned coffee shops and NEA should manage hawker centres directly. Let me continue a little bit in Tamil for now. Thank you. எனது சக சிங்கப்பூரர்களே, தைப்பூசத்தை ஒரு தேசிய பொது விடுமுறையாக மீண்டும் நிலைநிறுத்துவது பற்றி பேச இருக்கிறேன். இது எங்கள் கட்சியின் பொது தேர்தல் அறிக்கையிலும் உள்ளது. 1968 ஆண்டில் அரசாங்கம் பொது விடுமுறைகளில் எண்ணிக்கையை குறைத்தது. இந்து சமூகம் தீபாவளிக்கும் தைப்பூசத்திற்கும் இடையே தேர்வு செய்ய வேண்டியிருந்தது. அந்த நேரத்தில் இந்துக்கள் தீபாவளியை தேர்ந்தெடுத்தனர். அதனால் இந்துக்கள் ஆகிய நாம் ஒரே ஒரு பொது விடுமுறையுடன் இருந்தோம். பல ஆண்டுகளாக தைப்பூசம் சிங்கப்பூரில் பல இந்துக்களுக்கு ஆன்மீக ரீதியில் குறிப்பிடத்தக்க நிகழ்வாக மாறியுள்ளது. பலர் காவடிகள் அல்லது பால் குடங்களை சுமந்து செல்வதன் மூலம் தங்கள் நேர்த்திக் கடன்களை நிறைவேற்றுகின்றனர். தைப்பூசத்தை ஒரு தேசிய பொது விடுமுறையாக மீண்டும் நிலைநிறுத்தி சிங்கப்பூரில் மொத்த பொது விடுமுறைகளை 12 கொண்டு வருவதற்கு முயற்சி செய்கிறேன். So now I'm going to continue back in English. Okay, this is the finale. Dear East Coast residents, the Workers' Party is not here to form the government. We only want to have a more balanced political system with checks and balances. If we get elected into the parliament, the PAP will still form the government. Right? You have our promise that we will not take your votes for granted. And my team and I will ensure that your voices are heard through our voices in parliament. You already know what the Workers' Party MPs can do for you. And it is evident from the management of Hougang SMC, Aljunied and Sengkang GRCs. A precedent has already been set by the Workers' Party. And if elected, we from the East Coast GRC will continue following the path to serve the residents of East Coast GRC. I can be caring and passionate like Mother Teresa. But if the need arises to step up for the occasion and to be a voice in parliament to ask questions fearlessly, I can be like Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. And every time the Workers' Party rallies brim with support, we hear people saying that, oh, the rally attendance does not transform into votes. Let us create history. Step up and vote for the Workers' Party working for Singapore. Majulah Singapura. Thank you.
Thank you. Should Thaipusam be a holiday? Do we need more holidays? Next up, we have someone who is back. Someone who's back again. Mr. Jit Jong, JJ.
Jit Jong.
大家晚上好，我是余振中。大家好，我係余振中。最近呢，喺國會有一個部長用廣東話，我而家呢，今晚又用廣東話啦。呢個 PAP 政府，你哋講佢又唔聽，聽佢又唔明，明佢就唔做，做佢又做錯，一錯佢又唔認，咁點算呢 ？OK， 5月3號，你哋投工人黨，將我哋26位送入國會，咁佢就會明啦。Good evening, fellow Singaporeans, voters of East Coast GRC. I'm glad to be back to the Bedok Stadium where I started my first rally speech 14 years ago. And it's good to be back home. The new East Coast boundary is where I've lived my whole life, 60 years of my life. My schools are all here. OLPS in Siglap, St. Stephen's, St. Patrick's, Temasek Junior College. My extended family
and many, many of my friends are here too. Hello to all of you. This is my 4th general elections. I contested each time in where I lived. But I never moved house. But this is the 3rd constituency I'm contesting in. Joo-Chiat, Marine Parade, and now East Coast, my home. So many of you have experienced that. This is truly, uniquely Singapore. At the PAP's rally here 3 days ago, Minister Edwin Tong said that policy suggestions must be more than just good ideas. They must be practical and make sense. He said that we need to go beyond mere rhetoric and sound bites. Dear Singaporeans, we are so lucky. You know why? Mr. Edwin Tong must have a very practical and sensible plan to bring Singapore to the World Cup finals in 2034. It is going to be a plan that is better than the East Coast plan. After all, a former MP, Mr. Sito Yiping, at the rally also said that we are so lucky to have him because he's like the Lionel Messi of Singapore. Okay, I'm sure it's not sound bites. Okay, let's get back to reality. Some of our speakers and I spoke about, in the previous rallies, about the various proposals that we, the Workers' Party, have made and were eventually implemented by the government. Okay, so yes, our proposals must have made some sense for the government to implement them. Mr. Tong should also remember that it is the executive arm of the government, the civil service, that has the responsibility to implement policies. And I must say that we do have good civil servants. And the Workers' Party will be very happy to work with them to improve Singapore. Okay, many have asked why I am back. Actually, I have never left. I have just stepped out because I've been called upon. After GE 2020, I remained active with the party, but I had no plans to contest one more round. 2 years ago, the party asked me to start ground activities in Punggol. I had some time, I agreed, so we started walking with some passionate people, including some who are our candidates today. I told the party that I need not be considered to be candidate. I'm still a soldier with fire in my belly. So I was happy to prepare the ground. Meanwhile, I devoted a lot of my time to community projects. The biggest is food rescue. Together with a few friends, we bought a truck, secured sources of excess food. We distribute them daily to many communities and soup kitchens around Singapore, including several here in Bedok. We benefit 18,000 people every month. I also continue with the daily cooked food distribution in Marine Terrace and Eunos Crescent for 5 years. We distribute meals from charity sources to over 300 people, 365 days a year, including public holidays. Through these projects, I witness the power when we can mobilize the community to step up for one another. Local residents help with the logistics. Volunteers step up to drive the truck. This is the community spirit I want to bring to East Coast GRC. Last month, with the massive gerrymandering, the party called me to lead a team into East Coast. At this point, I wish to acknowledge the wonderful works of past candidates, Kenneth Fu,
Thank you, Kenneth.
and Abdul Sharif, as well as many volunteers who have covered the grounds of East Coast so tirelessly for the past 5 years, even providing monthly food distribution to the food insecure. They have continued to serve actively in this campaign. I met the team that was assembled. I told them, politics is serious business. If we are entrusted by the East Coast voters, we need to ensure that we put more than 100% to run this town well. This one not Saman, thank you. We also need to be present MP, present in Parliament to push issues for residents. Mr. Tong also said that we must all be in the politics of service to Singaporeans. Now, let me use the word service to describe my teammates. I know Nathaniel very well. We were teammates in 2020. He's one of the most hardworking and organized person I know, together with Fadli. They continue the work in Marine Parade, despite being young parents. They continue the work in Marine Parade, despite being young parents with full-time jobs. They built up such an incredible team of volunteers that some are actually candidates in these elections. And many are still actively involving in the GE, powering our elections. Nathaniel is a serious person who will get work done. Next, Sufyan. I know Sufyan as well as Paris from our days of working in Pongo. They have great personalities. They took time from their from their work to walk the ground. Sufyan self-funded his law studies in Australia. Upon return to Singapore, he worked his way to become an associate director in a law firm, only to quit because of the company's non-partisan policy. He wanted to be your voice, East Coast resident. Paris was a military woman. She spent 2.5 decades with the Singapore and US Navy in Singapore. She devotes her free time to help those on the margins of society, like ex-offenders.
Oh, thank you, man.
She has a heart of gold. She quit her job so that she can be your candidate today. Jasper is a father of 3. He spends much time with the party. He was Dennis Tan legislative assistant in Hougang, helping ensure the Meet the People sessions and other activities are run well. Jasper is also a father of 3. Oh, sorry. I skipped one. Pardon me. Jasper was a teacher who has successfully made his transition into finance and now into international payments. He has an important job, working with governments across Asia, transport operators and financial institutions to make sure of their interoperability of their systems. He is a problem solver. I humbly ask East Coast residents, look at this team. They say that heroes are ordinary people who has done extraordinary things. I think that they have extraordinary commitment. East Coast residents, believe in us. Believe in us as the voters in Hougang believe in a then very young Mr. Lau Tia Kiang in 1991. As the voters in Aljunied and Sengkang believe in us. They have not repented. We will not let East Coast voters down. Mr. Edwin Tong, this is service. This is commitment. They have come forward with no safety net to serve you. This is a team that I'm proud to lead. This is Team East Coast because we want to bring blue skies to the east, because after the lightning, the skies will be blue. Vote Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Let's give it up again for the extraordinary East Coast team. Thank you. Now, for the final speaker that all of you are looking forward to, we have none other than our candidate for Aljunied GRC and SG for the Workers' Party, Mr. Pritam Singh.
Thank you. Dear voters of East Coast GRC, good evening. Wan Sheng Hao. Now, about 14 years ago in 2011, I spoke at my first election rally. In that speech, I talked about the young people of Singapore. I said to the rally crowd, you will be surprised at what young people can do and can achieve if you give them a chance. Now, there are both many seniors in East Coast GRC, just as there are young people. To the seniors, let me outline how important your vote is in creating a democratic society based on justice, and equality. Your vote can leave a lasting mark on Singapore that will define our country for many, many years and decades henceforth. Many Singaporeans I meet tell me that justice and fairness means a lot to them. For my colleagues and I, this is a driving force that has pushed us into politics with a view to make Singapore better. In my first rally speech for GE 2025 last Thursday, I spoke about how the people of Hougang were treated like pawns by the PAP. This was one of my first experiences as a young Singaporean of what passed for fairness in Singapore. The actions of the PAP left a very bad taste in my mouth. And my peers and I didn't feel like this was a Singapore we can be proud of. We didn't feel such affinity to a country ruled by people with such small hearts. But the passage of time has the effect of mellowing you. You grow older, you get married, you have children, and you appreciate your parents more as you go through what they did when they were your age. You appreciate your lot in life, and you begin to thank God for the glass that you see more and more as half full and not half empty. But my feelings towards what was done to the people of Hougang and Potong Pasir by the PAP never mellowed. How could it be that the most intelligent, smartest, and sharpest people in the PAP could support such a policy? Weren't these PAP orang besar supposed to represent the cream of Singapore? The best and the brightest who rose up as a result of meritocracy. If so, why did they do this? Why didn't anybody in the PAP speak out against this?
They cannot.
It was so unfair. What values were transmitted to younger Singaporeans when there were such policies and some people look away? Today, this opposition ward last upgrading policy has been shelved. Voters of East Coast GRC, today PAP and opposition wards get upgrading at the same time. In some cases, opposition wards get HDB upgrading such as HIP earlier. As far as I can see, priority is based on objective criteria across all town councils, which should have been the case all along. In my view, the PAP changed its strategy because their bullying sticks and disrespectful carrots did not work. But make no mistake, the PAP leadership did not change the upgrading policy out of the goodness of their hearts. They only changed because the policy lost them votes. And the backlash was even seen in other constituencies in Singapore, reducing the PAP's vote share. That is how we, the people of Singapore, can fight unfairness and bring about change with our vote. After that failure, the PAP tried other policies designed to cripple town councils and elected town councillors in opposition wards, like CIPC funding, the processes behind CIPC funding, which is an important source of funding that helps town councils upgrade the amenities in your estates. This undemocratic process has also been reversed after continuous advocacy by opposition MPs and by Singaporeans as a result of the last general elections. I am sure you can see the pattern now. No political pressure in Parliament against the PAP, no results on the ground. No fairness, no justice on the ground. So on the occasion of SG60 this year, I salute this Singapore spirit of not giving in. SG60, our 60th year of independence, has been touted as the year of resilience. This political resistance to the PAP's HDB upgrading policy for opposition votes is the best example of resilience in the history of Singapore. It should be taught in our schools. We will need this spirit of Hougang should Singapore ever come under threat from any aggressor or when we face the unpredictable years ahead. The PAP only listens when it loses vote share and parliamentary seats to the Workers' Party. Why do you think Lee Hsien Loong and Lawrence Wong are going to Tampines, going to Punggol, and I'm sure they'll be here in East Coast also? Have they abandoned the other constituencies? The PAP only listens when it loses vote share and parliamentary seats to the Workers' Party. A previous Prime Minister said that he would have to spend his time fixing the opposition if it gains 5, 10 or 20 seats. And he said this when the opposition only had 2 seats in Parliament. This is the PAP DNA. I wonder what Prime Minister Lawrence Wong would say about this. Is this negative politics? I make the point again today because I can understand the key questions in the mind of East Coast voters. What will happen to my estate? Can the Workers' Party manage it? The answer to this question is best made out by our green ratings in the Town Council Management Review reports by the Ministry of National Development. Both Aljunied, Hougang and Sengkang, all green. But are our estates perfect? I will tell you from my heart. I walk around alone. My colleagues walk around alone. We listen to feedback. There's always room for improvement. On the subject of town councils, over the last few years, I have noticed, and I'm sure some of you may also have, large PAP banners in PAP-run town councils where it says a PAP-run town council and the PAP logo over there. This is a relatively recent development. Voters of East Coast GRC, we will not print the words a Workers' Party-run town council on our banners. Why? Our green ratings speak for itself, and that's all you need to know. But there's another important reason why we don't need to do that. Because our communities and towns are about the people who live in them. Our people, our fellow Singaporeans. And East Coast GRC, if we succeed in earning the right to represent you in Parliament, we will serve you all equally without reference to who you vote for in elections. Doesn't matter who, we will serve you equally. The current PAP candidates in East Coast asked to be voted in so that they can launch various local programs, some of which will undoubtedly come through the People's Association. But barring national programs which Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong has assured will continue as per normal, every single program these PAP MPs, or I beg your pardon, not MPs yet, these PAP candidates have mentioned can be launched in their capacity as grassroots advisors or PAP branch chairmen. Access to the community clubs has not been given to WP MPs since 1981. But the CCs remain open, PA programs continue to run, and the PA continues to be generously funded by your taxpayer dollars in Aljunied, Hougang and Sengkang.
Not fair!
If I am wrong, I would invite the PAP East Coast MPs to clarify, in the event that they do not win these elections, which programs they will stop should East Coast voters decide to vote Workers' Party. Be upfront with our people so voters can decide if the PAP really cares about East Coast or if there is no together in their East Coast plan. During COVID, the PA gave PA grassroots advisors, including all the unelected ones, information as specific as which resident was recovering from a COVID infection. These advisors were then in a position to deliver care packs to the residents. The Workers' Party MPs who secured a mandate from the people did not have access to this information. We would have loved access to that information to reach out to Singaporeans as well. And we would love to shake hands of our new citizens at citizenship ceremonies presided over by losing PAP candidates so that we can tell our new citizens, fellow Singaporeans and the world that our unity as one people is more important than party politics. With immigration and integration being such a big part of our social landscape in Singapore, I am taken aback by how the PAP does not walk the talk when it speaks of a united Singapore to deal with the challenges of tomorrow. Democratically elected opposition MPs are kept away when new Singaporeans are welcomed to our community. So let me ask Lawrence Wong again. Isn't this a textbook example of negative politics? Please change the policy. In the long run, Singapore will lose with such a mentality from PAP political leaders. Even if the PAP cannot, Singapore can do much better than that. A new generation of Singaporeans, young people, deserve to inherit a better Singapore without the artificial lines drawn by the PAP that can breed divisive politics. Residents of East Coast GRC, only recently a group of residents in my ward of Eunos in Aljunied GRC, who participate in a People's Association exercise program held on PA-managed land in the Eunos ward of Aljunied GRC, came to speak to me. They asked me, Mr. Singh, when it rains, would you mind if you allow us to use the HDB void deck which is managed by your town council so that we can continue our exercise? I said, please go ahead. You really don't need to ask this question. So I would like to ask the PAP, would you allow a Workers' Party MP to use the centrally located community clubs in his or her name as a democratically elected person for food donation or distribution drives for low-income households? This one can or not? Please say yes or no before polling day. Let me know so I can go and debate with PM Lawrence Wong in Parliament what is the real meaning of negative politics. But if you say, no, cannot, you cannot come into the CCs, let's keep things the way they are, it's okay. The spirit of Hougang lives in our people and the Workers' Party will find a way to help those people in need. Just ask Jit Jong. He has a lot of experience in helping people through the years with his food rescue program. To the voters of East Coast GRC, especially our seniors, more senior care centers will be constructed in Singapore over the next few years, including in East Coast GRC. These centers are important. They run full-day programs for our seniors, and they are especially helpful when caregivers are away at work or looking after their children. Not too long ago, the Ministry of Health appointed Sparkle Care, a PAP community fund organization, to run one such center in the Eunos ward of Aljunied GRC. Sparkle Care applied to use a multi-purpose hall in the estate where the center is located to run services and sought the Aljunied Hougang Town Council's approval to do that. Same thing. No issues, no problem, approval given. On the day of the event, I dropped into one of the sessions. Voters of East Coast GRC, let me tell you something. The warmth of the Sparkle Care staff blew me away. I wanted to go to the session to assure the team that the Aljunied Hougang Town Council will support them. Don't worry about this PCF issue. Don't worry about that. You're serving the community. Please go ahead and do it. You got our full support. The Sparkle Care volunteers even asked to take a picture with me. Something I did not expect, because some PCF staffs tend to be cautious because of the PAP logo in the PCF logo. In the course of our conversation, we came to a very quick understanding. Not too many words shared. When it comes to community, our seniors, our fellow Singaporeans, we are one people. All Singaporeans, the future is bright. Our little red dot will shine bright when our hearts are large. East Coast GRC voters, cast your vote with this in mind. When your hearts are large, the future is bright. Yes. Residents of East Coast, the Workers' Party team will bring this same community spirit no matter what the obstacle to East Coast GRC. And if they don't, if the team does not do so, team leader Jit Jong will make sure that they do. Young people, and indeed Singaporeans of all ages, if you see double standards and unfairness in our country, you must speak up. If you live in a Singapore where you cannot speak your mind, how will our dreams come true? How will we build a better Singapore for tomorrow? Now, there will be issues that tug our society in very different directions. For example, LGBT rights, what to do when democratic societies breach international law and our humanitarian instincts kick in. Many more issues will arise. We must resolve these issues and engage them passionately, but thoughtfully too. It is not out of place to ask, am I hurting someone with my passionate advocacy? If the answer is yes, think about your approach, especially in the context of our multiracial society. I'm not asking you to rethink your passion. Your passion should never be suppressed. But deliberately think hard about how your views will be received by those who disagree with you. Paradoxically, that will improve your advocacy and advance the cause you fight for. I respect others may have a different view on how to fight for causes they wish to champion. To Singapore of all races and religions, no one should threaten you by saying they will pay for a one-way business class ticket for you to go elsewhere. There is no distinction between a new citizen or old citizen. Your pink IC is all that matters, and you are one of us. No one should tell you to go back to the country of your ancestors just because you have the courage to stand up for what you believe in. Young people, all Singaporeans, you are the future. You are the key to unlock a more united people going forward. A fair society, a just society. Don't be afraid of speaking your mind. My generation has seen the injustice of PAP policies.
Yeah, man.
Some of them, those who came before me, stepped up to be counted at great personal cost.
Thank you, JVJ.
Others have rallied behind the scenes, but they all contributed in working for Singapore, and me and my colleagues, we stand on their shoulders. I want to tell young Singaporeans this. Your parents, family and friends love you, and they want to see you thrive. Setbacks are common to us all, but rise each time you fall. But if you're going to be cowed or immobilized by fear, you will not be able to work for Singapore, the country we all call home. The Workers' Party has faith in you, full faith in you. Join us in common cause. And let's work together for a better Singapore through a more balanced parliament, through a more balanced political system together. Thank you, East Coast GRC. Work for Singapore. Vote for the Workers' Party. Good night. Thank you for your support. Thank you. I have only 2 more minutes to close the rally. So it leaves me to say, please exit the stadium grounds carefully. Pick up every single piece of litter because we are Singapore. We look after each other. We look after our country. And we always look after one another. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So as we have come to the end of this rally, as our SG Pritam has shared, please exit in a safe and orderly manner. 谢谢大家参与我们这次的群众大会，请关注我们的下一场群众大会，那将发生在星期四晚上。所以在此，我们建议大家安全有序地散会。感谢大家的合作，谢谢，晚安。
We love Hougang!